Fire! It's the 100th episode. Look, we have a cake. My mom's coming over later. She'll eat the whole thing. So it won't go to waste. I'm going to let those burn for a little bit. Yeah.
Why? Because you're a pyro.
Because I am a pyro. And it turns out there's a little air conditioning going on up here. The flames are, and it looks like it's going to storm outside. I'm a little distracted from by the window behind paddles because I can see lightning in the distance. I love it. Fire, lightning, fire. Speaking of fire, if you guys go on my Instagram and or Twitter, you'll see the volcano video from the Mirage, because I was at the Mirage this weekend, which was so fun. Sorry, I don't have COVID. I'm just joking. I took videos because the volcano's not going to be there much longer. I can't say for sure how long. Nobody seems to know. All we know is the Hard Rock bought it, and they're going to take the volcano out because that's where the giant guitar hotel is going to be. Mm-hmm. And it made me so sad. I do love it. It's awesome. If you're a pyro, and I know it's a waste of time and energy, but so are the Bellagio fountains, but they're awesome. That's thunder. So, you know, it's already there. I can't do anything about that. For everybody's like, they're wasting resources. I'm not in charge of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Vegas is going to do Vegas, is what they're going to do. And I had a room that looked straight down at the volcano. So when I was getting ready to go to work, I watched the whole thing. Nice. Had my friend Bronson come up. He watched it with me. And, yeah, I think the Mirage is... Nobody knows what's going to happen except we know it's turning into a Hard Rock. But I hope they keep the hotel, behind, the one that's there now. It's my favorite because it's a perfect size. It's not too big. Some of them, I'm not going to name... Well, one time I remember being at the MGM, and that was considered big back in the day. And it was bigger than the Mirage. Me and my mom, she came to hang out for the week, and we got all the way down after all this bullshit, and we sit down to play slots, and she's like, I forgot my glasses. Oh, I wanted to kill her. I'm like, I'll go back. You just sit here and play like a blind person, Mom. Play like someone who can't see. And if you win, the whole thing will go brrr, so it doesn't even matter. Just keep hitting spin. I'll be back in fucking 4 hours. That's how far the room was. Oh, my God. The Mirage is just a perfect size, and the people are so nice. I try to see all my friends there because I don't know if they'll still have their jobs. It's been a great run, though. 10 years at the Mirage. Well, I'll find my friends no matter what. But, you know, if... I don't like that we're all getting separated. I don't like it. And I don't like it. And my bartenders, Victor and Dio and Brandy at CPK, and then my video poker people. And I mean, I have friends. Those are my friends. Kana, she'll still be around. But, you know, it's just sad because the Mirage was like a landmark, too. It was like the first one back, whatever, 20, 30 years ago, 30 years ago, I guess, that it made Vegas seem cool. Like, not, it was getting a little skanky and a little dirty. And the Mirage was just, it's the only one, too, where you feel like you're going into Hawaii. You don't even smell smoke or anything because there's so many plants in the atrium thing that it overrides anything. Yeah. So, anyway, thanks to everybody who came to the show. It was sold out. It was great. Great crowd. And sometimes at 10 o'clock on a Friday, you think people might be a little tight because they've been working all day or they came from somewhere else and they flew in. Oh, my God, and I met 3 guys from Oklahoma that were so funny in the elevator because I was like, oh, I'm from Missouri because he's the guy who's like, we were from Oklahoma. Then later, he made a joke that was totally inappropriate. Then he sees me. I laughed, but then he sees me later, and he's like, oh, my friends were giving me so much shit about that joke. Like, when I was talking about rape and murder and stuff, I didn't really mean any of that. And, I mean, I know I should never say rape. I'm like, well, I was just as disturbed about the murder part. Because they're, but they were so funny. And then later I got in the elevator, it was him again. And he's like, oh, I'm going back to my, they gave me so much shit all day. I shouldn't talk to women like that. I go, you know, what'd be funny is if you take me back to the room you guys are all in right now. Say that you brought me in to murder me. So we did it. And his friends were like, no way, that lady came with you? And I'm like, the whole time though, I'm thinking, what if they are like murderers? Like, am I this dumb? Is this like a Dateline where I'm that stupid that I just walk back in? Hey, how you guys doing? You're hilarious. They were so funny though. And they gave me a free beer, free Miller Lite, and I had a beer with them. And then, I guess I should blow it out. The O is falling apart. All right, termites. Gonna blow out the 100th birthday cake. Ready? Yeah! Still have some lung power. Not a lot. Here, I don't want to set off a smoke alarm in the house.
It's a 0, not an O.
It's a 0. O 0 O. So that was super fun, and now I have 2 weeks off.
Nice.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to go to Minnesota. I have friends that have a place on the lake, Bemidji. I don't really know. All I know was I'm flying to Minneapolis, renting a car, and I wanted to drive. I think it's like a 4-hour drive, but I wanted because it's supposed to be pretty. I'm tired. I'm not going to end my life never seeing a lake in Minnesota. Yeah, when the license plate says 10,000 lakes, well, goddamn it, I want to see one, and I'm going to do it. And my friends have a place. And then all over the place. Canada. Yeah, going there. That's going to be fun. Little golf where it's not 100 degrees. That'll be something nice. And then, because I'm going to tell you termites, I'm going to do this at the top of the show because otherwise I'm going to forget. Here's where I'm going in September if you want to find me. I think the Dallas one, it might be sold out. I don't know. The Canadians are excited. That's September 10th, but that's sold out for sure. So I can't. I'm excited to go, and I'm going on all the touristy stuff. They can make fun of me all they want. I don't care. I'm going to the Maiden and the Mist. I'm going to under Niagara Falls. I'm going to the Keg to have a drink and look at the falls. That's on September 10th. September 16th and 17th is Dallas, Austin. Dallas might be sold out, but I know we haven't dumped the marketing comps yet. So like a week before, stay tuned, and then boom, because those are always really good seats. Yeah. And then Austin, then Chattanooga. I'm very excited about this little run in September. September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Asheville. How great is that? Yeah, I'll have my friend Michael Palasak with me. Dallas and Austin, I think is my friend Kelly McFarland. Yep. I forget. Yep. Chattanooga and Knoxville, we could use a little help on those ticket sales. Just saying, termites. Mm-hmm. Asheville's way more than I thought.
It's football season.
Well, it's football season in the South. I know. The fact that I have to check the calendar for that, and then I have to explain to people in Los Angeles, no names included, about how important SEC football is. I'm like, do not book me in Atlanta if Georgia's playing Alabama. And they're like, what? I'm like, just listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. People are drunk the whole weekend. They don't want to sit still for comedy. God damn it. It's SEC football. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing you got to consider. And then you got to hope that the other acts that are vying for those same theaters don't know that.
True.
Right. And then after that, Rochester, New York, Ithaca, and I never know if it's Wilkes-Barre or Wilkes-Barre. I think it's Wilkes-Barre. I've been there 1,000 times. I've asked the termites a million times, and people give me all kinds of pronunciations. So will there be one Pennsylvania termite that can finally make the call on that?
Phonetically.
And then October, it's that's in October. October is Fort Collins, yay. Colorado Springs, yay. Then Grand Rapids, yay. 2 shows in Detroit at the Royal Oak Theater. We added a second show. First one sold out, but second one there's some left. And then Dayton and Indy. Indianapolis is shocking me with ticket sales in a great way. No, I used to work the smaller room, and then they bumped me up, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to the bigger room. And it's selling great. So shout out to all my Indianapolis termites.
Are you going to stay for the football game?
Am I going to stay for the football game in Indy?
The Colts game.
The Colts? No. No. I have other plans for football games this season. I'm going to see Tom. I'm going to see Tom Brady before he quits. Shouldn't say dies, but, before he retires. And maybe a Packers game might be shoved in there, and a Buffalo Bills game.
I think we should talk about termite tailgates.
Well, we could do some termite tailgates, but I don't know where to tell people to go. I don't live there. I just go in the parking lot. I'm just a random drunk in the parking lot. I don't have a setup. So I'd have to be invited to someone's setup because I don't have a setup. Okay. I'm the lady that's in the hotel where I either Ubered over there or I walked.
So we'll figure
and I just walk around with my driver's license.
We're going to Titans-Packers.
Titans-Packers. Yeah.
And then we're doing...
my friends from the Pabst Theater are going to be there. That's great.
And then we're doing
Buffalo.
And the Steelers.
And I'm going to the Anchor Bar, and people can make fun of me all day long, but that's where I like my wings. All right. Moving on. What are we tasting? Well, here's a little thing. While I'm drinking it, we're doing the seltzer thing because it's summer. This is White Claw natural lime. It's delicious. It's refreshing in the summer. Sometimes I love beer, but sometimes you get beered out. And these, be careful though. If you drink them straight out of the can and you drink like 3 in a row, they hit you way harder than beer. There's always a shit ton of ice in this thing. My St. Louis Blues champion. Oh, and by the way, look who's moved out front. Fred Bird. Because why? The Cardinals have taken first place. Oh, Colton, you're in the back seat. Oh no, Colton, you're falling backwards. The Cardinals are 1 game up above the Brewers. I got really mad on SportsCenter when they were talking about the Cardinals fighting for the wild card. I'm like, there's all of August left, you guys. You can't just say, we're only 2 games back. You've already written us off that the Brewers automatically. No. Because the Cardinals heat up and Yachty's back, our leader. He was hurt, and he was down in Puerto Rico having a nice time trying to rehab. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking. White Claw lime. But my favorite White Claw, it's lime and something, like lemon lime. This is just straight up lime. I do. Well, I like Topo Chico. So far, the best, the pineapple. But they only won't sell all the pineapples. Like, you have to buy the flavored pack, and then there's like 2 of each. I want all pineapple. Yeah, I don't like the mango, and I don't like the raspberry. What do you do with the ones you have? I give them to the pool guys that come on Monday. They love it. I don't even think the one's old enough to drink. And then I thought, should I ask? And then I thought, well, I don't know. I'm just setting it here. I don't know who's drinking it. Well, it's always so hot when they come. It's fucking 7,000 degrees, and nobody needs to know when they drank it. Right. You can take it home. You can drink it in the whatever, backyard. I don't care. So backstage, I forgot at the Mirage. So I got to meet the head of all MGM properties. His name's Jonathan, and his wife, and she's a big termite and a fan. And they were so fun. They were just the nicest people. Because sometimes the staff will be like, what is he, CEO? I don't know. I call him head honcho. Yeah. And they get nervous, like he's coming over. Yeah. I'm like, he's just a person. Yeah. But I also know I had my job. What are you gonna do? I mean, whatever. But he was so nice, and they came back before the show. And then Carrot Top had some friends that were so funny. Taylor and his friend, and she. They're both lawyers. I honestly, by Taylor's shorts, I didn't see that coming. But I loved his shorts, but they were really outside the box. Like, he did not, neither one of them. Right. And then she's like, well, I went to school in St. Louis. I go, where? She goes, well, it was downtown. I go, where? She goes, St. Louis University Law School. I'm like, that's where my dad graduated from. Of course I know where that is. But they were so fun. And he brought fancy new snacks. He brought them backstage in a bag. Snacks. Yeah, and he said he's a lawyer. I don't know if I should say it because he might get in trouble. He's a lawyer. Yeah, what he wrote was funny though, but I don't want him to get in trouble. He's a San Francisco termite. Please make more tank tops. I never had any, but I'll start if that's what you want. Sure, I'll make a tank top. Why not? That's fun. So he brought this popcorn. It's called Lesser Evil. Simple acts, clean snacks, premium quality minutes, and then it's got this person on the front. I haven't tasted him yet.
He looks like Gandhi or the Dalai Lama.
Wow, it's only 100 calories. It's good. Yeah. It's a less processed, earth-friendly snacking, accessible to everyone.
That sounds horrible.
I know it does, but it's good. No, it's good, and I like the cartoon character on the front. And then you can connect with the guru. See, this is the guru on the front of the package. You can go on Facebook, Twitter, and lesserevil.com. I'm going to go see it. Okay. I like it. This kind is... The one I just ate is just popcorn. It doesn't really have a... This one is Himalayan Gold. Yeah, I mean, if it's better than... eating Orville Redenbacher full butter, like 1,000 calories. That was really good, too. I might throw some salt on it, which is probably against the idea of what we're doing, but that was really good. Thank you, Taylor. Because Carrot Top Scott texted, do you do meet and greets? I go, for you, I do. A lot of casinos don't even want all that going on because of COVID still, but whatever. I got people backstage if I want. I don't usually do paid meet and greets because I don't like charging people to meet me. I don't feel comfortable with that. I'm not judging other people that do. You go for it. But I just think it's weird. Yeah. Like, if you meet me, you meet me. I met all kinds of termites this weekend in Vegas. At the video poker bar, I met some Canadians. I met the Oklahoma guys. I met all kinds of people. If you're looking for me, I'm out there. Right. I was at that video poker bar for probably 8 hours. No. I was winning so much money. It was I told my dad, I haven't had a machine that hot in 10 years. It was just fantastic.
It makes up for the run.
And my friend Carla Ray opened the show. She's so funny. She's on the radio out in Vegas every day with Mike, her partner, and he's great. He came to the show, too. Cool. They came backstage. Yeah, it was fun. Fun night had by all. Because they said, they always put so much food and drink backstage in Vegas. Like, other places don't unless you say it. You got to ask for it. And I don't ever do that because I'm not going to eat it. But to watch everybody else eat it made me feel very happy. Destroy that cheese board. Let's get into it. Okay, so moving on. This lady, this is a great termite. Wonderful termite. Jen and Steve from Santa Fe. I wish I could get a gig in Santa Fe more often. I always get corporate gigs there, but then I go in and out and I don't get to stay or have fun. Like, I want to know Santa Fe better than I do. Okay. I don't know if there's a theater. I'm going to yell at people.
Why don't you
talk to the people in Los Angeles? Talk to the people in Los Angeles is right. Hey, Kathleen, saw your post on social media about the coyote with hot dog and loved it. And then that one termite painted it for me. This person got in touch with the artist who created it. After a while, he sent me the enclosed note. He also sent me the other pictures, the other paintings he painted with the coyote theme. I'm sending you a print. These are so cool. She got the canoe one on the side of this Yeti, which is fantastic. That's going to be with me every minute of every day. The prints are a coyote with hot dog, canoe, outside in. And you guys probably can't see these, but like he has this coyote on a chair, and then it has Ukraine. They're just fucking weird. But they're awesome, and then I love the coyote. Then here he is on a chair outside. He's got like a flower on him. And then she got me this one. Though this is the real, it's not the real one. It's a print of the one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so now I have the one that the termite painted. Yeah. And then this one. I'm going to somehow make a little gallery going up the stairs in the house.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be something my dad will go, why would you have that hanging on your wall? Shut up, Dad. Just shut up. So I got that. So thank you. That was a wonderful surprise. And the artist, if you want to go look at his stuff, is Steven Yazzle, Yazzle. I haven't had a chance to look at us online because I was gone, but I'm going to go check it out, see if it's on his website or something. I forgot to say, what are we tasting? Except for the popcorn, I forgot. Oreos. Once again, my dad will eat all his peanut butter. No, Toffee Crunch Cream Oreo. I don't like toffee.
Too much?
I love them. Yeah. Oh, my God. If you like toffee, get yourself these Oreos. If it ain't your thing, stay very far away. Okay. And then I thought, it's summertime, and I had this out grilling before I left, and I thought, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. This is Maull's barbecue sauce. It's from St. Louis. It's like we don't live without it, and even people who move order cases of it. Because once you grow up on it, you can't. They had commercials in St. Louis growing up like, you gotta maul it, and it was always about pork steaks, another thing that's very central to St. Louis.
You gotta maul it.
Yeah, and I didn't even need to taste this because I know exactly what it tasted like, but I heated some up anyway. It's sweet. It's not but it's got kick to it. It's not like North Carolina, which is always my favorite. The Vigner. But if you're going to go red, Maull it. You can get it online. Okay. It's just a classic since, see if I can read this, 1926. Oh, wow. But like in St. Louis, no one has any other kind of barbecue sauces in their refrigerator. Not everybody, but old people, me, people older than me. There's why would you even pick anything else up?
I like it.
It's one wonderful summer treat. That's it. Let's move on to some Queen news. Well, I guess I haven't been paying attention. Cher was off Twitter. Who knows? Whatever. She just left shit, but she went dark. And then she just wrote a tweet back. She just wrote back, hi. Just hi. Hi? The word, yeah. And then people answer a million things. And then she said she's sorry she went away. She promises it'll never happen again. I'm like, well, yeah. Anyway, if you're looking for Cher on Twitter, she's back. Dolly Parton officially a friend of education after mailing millions of books to children. So she, we know about her career. Wow, she has given away in 2021 22,140,308 books to children around the world. Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
For her work with the Imaginary, Imagination Library, she was recently awarded the National Education Association 2022 Friend of Education Award. The award was announced at the NEA Annual Representative Assembly in Chicago, Nevada. So congrats to Dolly on that.
That's awesome.
Otherwise, I don't know what everyone's doing. I know Stevie put her road schedule out for the fall. Very exciting. Mm-hmm. There's lawn seats left in some places. They're not cheap, though, kids. They're not cheap. My friend, I think I said it last time. I think my friend Kathleen in Atlanta got them, but they were like $160 for the lawn. But you know what? You got to pay what you got to pay if you want to see the queens. Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, moving on. Let me put this over here. If the power goes out, don't be shocked. I can see.
We'll light the candles on the cake.
Update! Remember a long time ago I told you Shakira was in tax trouble? Mm-hmm. Spanish prosecutor asked for 8-year jail term for Shakira. Nobody puts Shakira in a corner. No! I won't have it. You know, her hips don't lie, but maybe her accountant did. Why don't we open with that, huh? That's what you tell the jury. Shakira and her hips don't lie. Maybe she signed off. Spanish prosecutor seeking an 8-year prison term for the Colombian superstar Shakira over 14 million euro tax fraud case. A prosecutor's office document showed on Friday. She sold more than 80 records, such as Hips Don't Lie. Earlier this week, rejected a settlement offer from the prosecutor's office to close the case. She doesn't want to settle.
Nope.
She's accused of failing to pay taxes between 2012 and 2014, a period in which Shakira says she did not live in Spain. Well, where you live...
Where you stay?
Where you stay? Where you stay at? And that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's where you're earning your money. You have to pay taxes. Like, I have to pay every state I work in.
Right.
I think it's over $1,200 or whatever a contractor's fee is. You have to pay on that. And then where do you declare your residence? So if I declare my residence in the United States and I go to Canada for 2 years, I still have to pay tax. Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know how this works over there. Asserts that Shakira was ordinarily a resident in Spain between 2012 and 2014, and in May she bought a house in Barcelona, which became a family home for herself, her partner, and their newborn son. It asked for an 8-year prison and a fine of $23 million should she be found guilty. No trial set for the day. There's no trial date yet. Whoa. Well, I just don't. Did she really? Why not? You know what? Here's the thing with tax people like that. I almost think, do you really want to take up space in prison or make her pay the tax amount plus double and then take that money and do good things with it? Right. We don't need to lock Shakira's hips up. No. Nobody puts Shakira in the corner. I love Shakira. Can't do that. Make her pay the fines, though, if she did it. Update! This is the longest prison term for one of the rioters. Yep. Man who stormed the Capitol with gun gets 7 years plus prison. This is another guy. He was part of the Texas 3 Percenters, some militia group, and he planned to drag Nancy Pelosi out of the Capitol building by her ankles with her head hitting every step on the way down. Well, that's very specific. You certainly know exactly what you want.
Here's my goal.
Here's what Nancy would say. Get your greasy hands off me. Are you here to talk about affordable health care? Why do you have a Confederate flag?
That war's over.
It's 2 more years longer than the prison sentence for the cat than the last. The most was 2. This one is 2 and 2 years and 3 months more. It's half the length of the 15-year. The ones that that's what the prosecutors wanted. 15 years. Good. They called him a domestic terrorist, and he also wanted to physically remove and replace members of Congress. Oh. See, this is where hillbillies. It's like the whole people that tried to capture Nancy or what's her face, Gretchen Whitmer. Once it's even watching live when I'm watching those people bust into the Capitol, they never think what happens when we get in.
No.
And you're going to replace congressmen with other ones? Do you have a roster? Do you have a team ready to go? Well, Paddles is going to be from this district. So-and-so. That's ridiculous. He was the first person to go on trial for the attack in which supporters... yeah, he did a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what... he was armed with a Smith & Wesson pistol and a holster on his waist, carrying zip-tie handcuffs. That's the other thing. A lot of them had the zip-tie handcuffs. Let's say you handcuff Nancy. Let's really think this through. Now you're going to, quote, drag her out of the steps. This is what you want to do with her head bouncing. And then are you just going to leave her at the bottom of the steps, or are you going to put her in a car? Now you're going to take her? Where are you going to take her? You're going to throw her out your car? There's no thought follow through. It's just, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm going to do. And then, he retreated after an officer sprayed pepper spray in his face, but he waved on the other rioters who ultimately breached the building. He didn't testify at all on his own behalf. Oh, my God. His 19-year-old son, Jackson, testified that his father told him that him and his sister, then 16, that they would be traitors if they reported him, and warned them that traitors get shot. Oh, well, he's going to shoot his own kids.
Wow.
Fuck.
Okay.
Seriously?
It's very specific.
Yeah. The Three Percenters movement refers to the myth that only 3% of Americans fought in the Revolutionary War against the British. Yeah, whatever. He lived in a Dallas suburb. This guy, he drove to Washington with Rocky Hardy, his buddy. Mm-hmm. They were both armed. They attended the Stop the Steal rally before the riot. Good. Blah, blah, blah. That's going to be a long prison time. I hope you have fun, sir. You know, it would be really funny if Nancy Pelosi visited him. Like, just to say you have a visitor. Yeah. And then if the person goes, who is it? It's a surprise. Nobody's going to tell you. Update. How many people have watched my special on Netflix called Bothering Jesus? Mm-hmm. How many of you termites? Well, you're going to need to know what's in that special to understand this. But I'll try to explain it so you don't have to go and watch the whole special if you don't feel like it. Noodling, this is where you stick your hand in a hole to get a catfish, is now legal in Louisiana. Congratulations, Louisiana. Here's what I told my brother. I'm guessing most of the people noodling aren't really concerned about legalities. No. It's America. I'm going to do what I want to do for freedom. But if I want to shove my arm in a hole, get a fish, you tell me why I can't. Right now. That's all in my act, but it's all true. This is they do this big story about it, which you don't really need to hear. You stick your hand in, so you get goggles, nets, gloves, homemade plastic pipes with hooks to help them secure it. It's really shoving your arm down the throat, and you have a little string deal with a hook thing, and then you pull the catfish out, and it's in your hand. But it's in murky waters. Here's the reason. Well, there's many reasons I wouldn't do it, but the biggest reason I wouldn't do it is a lot of times where you're shoving your hand, those are water moccasin dens. There's snakes. Yeah, you're going in the area where the snakes actually seek out to build their nest. And especially in the spring, I mean, a water moccasin. Me and my dad have been fishing in the backs of Cove and had water moccasins come out and attack the fishing boat we were in. Like, bang their heads. They can crawl up the side of a boat. You don't want to piss them off. No. Copperheads, too, but they're not by the water as much as the water. Anyway, it can be a dangerous sport, said John, this guy that does it, showing off cuts on his arm from previous catches and recounting a time when a 30-pound catfish chomped down on his arm all the way up to the bicep. Right. That's how some of them drown. I've lost about everything you can imagine. Almost lost my life. I've done it all, said John. The three men have been noodling for more than 5 years, sinking their own traps, such as plywood boxes, even a bathtub to encourage catfish to spawn. With noodling, they mostly try their luck at Kearney Lake. I don't know where this is, but I don't need to go into it. But they're aware that late July, the end of the catfish, isn't the idea. Okay, we don't need to know. I'm just saying, if you have a desire to get in a murky river and try to catch a catfish with your hand, you can do that now. Great. Yeah, everyone can enjoy the sport now that it's legal in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It passed unopposed. It'll join 16 other states where noodling is legal. One of them where it is not legal, Missouri. I know. They tried it, and I don't know. They think, well, you just go watch my, just zoom to that part. It might even be a separate joke on YouTube. Is it? Yeah, okay. We'll put it in the schnotes, and then you don't have to bother with the whole special if you don't have time or you don't care. Update! Wow. We're going to have a little serious talk about this update. Okay. Meta earnings miss expectations. Net income plummets 36%. Facebook parent company reported its second quarter 2022 earnings after the closing bell, falling shy of analyst expectations and missing by a wide margin on its Q3 revenue forecast. The quarter also marked the first year-over revenue decline for the social media company. Net income also fell over 36% year over year. Here are the important numbers, and then it tells you why it tanked it. The company's family of apps, which includes the likes of Instagram and WhatsApp. Do people use WhatsApp? I don't even know how.
I think it's children do.
The children?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's what I do know. I have Snapchat on my phone, and I don't know how to use it. And about once every 4 seconds, it'll say, Emily, that happens to be my niece, is now on Snapchat. So there's a guy who stained the cedar on the house, and I put him in my phone as Brian Stain Guy. Yep. And, I don't know, 3 times a day, Brian Stain Guy's on Snapchat. I don't even know why it's doing that. I don't know how to... It's looking at my contacts. I understand that. But why am I being alerted when I'm not even participating? Because I signed in. I got to sign out. Or I have to learn it. But I've never heard any of the little kids, under 18, talk about WhatsApp. My sister said they all communicate through Snapchat. Yeah. The younger, super young Zoomers, even before, whatever's after that. So that's their apps, but they also, I'm going to read you this. Meta already owns a best-selling virtual reality fitness app. Really? What's that? Nobody's heard of that. Meta chose to buy market position instead of earning with merits. It's an illegal acquisition. It's the popular Supernatural app. Never heard of it. FTC Bureau of Competition deputy said in a statement, Meta chose to buy market position instead of earning it on merits. That's an illegal acquisition and we'll pursue it. Wow. But here's what I want to get to. As proof of Meta's ad market troubles, the company reported the average price per ad fell 14% over the year. Then there's TikTok, which Meta and its ilk see as an existential threat. The bite-sized video app claimed to had 1 billion monthly active users. To combat the threat of TikTok, Meta has focused more on Reels, a TikTok short video feature. What's more, the company introduced a new layout for its main Facebook app. I wouldn't even know that. Here's the thing. People should know this. So I thought, I did it as an experiment. I watch TikTok every now and then, but it's I do jokes about it in my act. It's I feel like I'm sitting at a bar next to somebody in the 90s who did the cocaine. It's a little too crazy for me. But I tried Reels, and now, just so you guys know, and I have a lot of followers. Probably, I have a lot more on Twitter and Facebook than I do on Instagram. But, so on Instagram, this is how ridiculous this is. And I'm not doing it anymore, because I'm not in the mood to help Zuckerberg. Not for free. So when you post a Reels, okay, so I've posted since, I don't know, a couple, whoa, thunder, lightning. I've been posting for 2 or 3 weeks, right? And you post a video, the one that you would put on Instagram, and then they say you're going to get paid. Well, the first 2 I posted, each one made $35. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. I can make a lot of fun money, beer money. Well, turns out, no. They start your first couple out and they pay you a lot, and then it turns into pennies.
How much is a lot?
How much is a lot? Well, they give everybody, they said, I had to go read about it. Everybody who starts, they trick you and they give you $35 for one video. So you think, well, shit, if I could do this, we'd all be rich, right? Well, then that stops after the second video. Now you're going into their real pay, which is literally pennies. In 3 weeks, I've made $111. Now, here's the thing. I have put up, let me see if I can tell you. So you gotta hit, this is the insanity. But I don't know how the children, I'm eligible for bonus plays because I'm, quote, a public figure, whatever, right? You need 11 million views. 11 million to make $1,200 in a time period, which is 1 month. I have 142,000 views, and I've made $111. That is off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 videos. So you figure, well, 11 videos, it's $10 a video.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No.
But
do you need that money?
No, well, I don't need it enough to. I think people get irritated by reels. I can't tell. I don't get as many views I did. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do. If I had something that I thought was going to go viral, I do have one video that I know would get a zillion of the cats, but I can't show it because people think that I wasn't taking proper care of the cats.
Oh my God.
But I was. Just, they went crazy. I can't explain it, but I don't want to hear the bullshit.
Right.
I don't know. I just think, is it really 10? Is that $10 a video? Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay. Yeah, almost.
It's good math for you.
Well, but it's taken forever to get to, I'm not going to give him free content.
No. Well, you are.
Well, I have. I'm going to quit this and just go back to regular Instagram because I don't know, Termites, do you like Reels? Do you like TikTok better? I don't know how you get paid on TikTok either. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm just saying for the children. If the kids want to make money, I don't know. And then I had to get my bank account number to China or wherever. I don't know where it went.
That's probably not good.
No. You should probably... Okay, we're moving on. Holy shit, they found it! Oh, this is really cool. An extremely rare 1,850-year-old bronze coin found in the waters off Israel's coast.
Wow.
Yeah. Israeli archaeologists on Tuesday displayed a coin remarkably well preserved Roman-era bronze coin dating back 1,850 years depicting the moon goddess Luna. Ooh. The first such find in Israeli waters, the coin minted in Alexandria in present-day Egypt featuring the zodiac sign Cancer below Luna and the ex-Roman Empire Antonius Pius on the other side. It was discovered by archaeologists with the Israeli Antiquities Authority during explorations of Hatifa in northern Israel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you should say we'll put it in the schnotes. Schnotes, because the coin is, you can tell it's a lady and Cancer. You can see the crab. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I don't know if they're going to sell it. I don't know what they do with it. It was dated year 8, referring to the 8th year of Antonius, his rule, Antonius Pius' rule, which ran from the year 138 to 161, part of an era known as Pax Romana, where there was relative peace throughout the Roman Empire. And that's why you have time at that point to put zodiac signs on your money, because we're not fighting anybody and we don't need a hero. How about just something fun? How about Libra? How about mine? These finds, which were lost at sea and disappeared from sites hundreds and hundreds of years ago, have been remarkably well preserved. Some are extremely rare, and their discovery completes parts of the historical puzzle of the country's past. The Luna piece was found among a small hoard of other coins and circumstances to find it. There'd been a shipwreck there, that's why. See, then if I lived over there, then I'd be possessed to go diving for more. My addict brain would kick in. And I'm like, well, if there's one, there's got to be one. Right? Holy shit, they found it. This is frightening. Wow. Researchers have discovered a new giant 18-million-year-old crocodile species that inexplicably disappeared. This thing, it was a monster. It roamed and ate people.
What?
Yep. I'm going to tell you about it. It's called giant dwarf crocodiles inhabited Africa, and they love to eat humans. 2 new species of crocodiles have been discovered, according to a recent study by the head of the University of Iowa. These crocodiles formerly inhabited East Africa between 18 million and 15 million years ago before becoming inexplicably extinct. Their findings were recently published in the Journal of the The species known as giant dwarf crocodile is similar to the dwarf crocodiles that may be found in Central and Western Africa, but unlike their contemporary relatives, the huge dwarf crocodiles were much larger, hence the name. Rarely can dwarf crocodiles grow longer than 4 or 5 feet, but the prehistoric ones got up to 12 feet. Wow. Imagine that, a 12-foot long. I've seen long alligators on Kiowa Island. Yeah, at the golf course, that one, the Oaks, golf course, there was a monster back there. And I didn't know that alligators eat each other. So when you see a pond and there's a bunch of alligators, the biggest one, he's eating a lot of people. It's his pond. He's eating a lot of crocodiles. That is his pond, alligators, I mean. And if you threaten, if he don't like you, he will eat you. It's his pond. And until he leaves or someone takes him away, that's that, till he maybe goes off in the middle of the night to another pond. These were the biggest predators our ancestors faced. They were opportunistic predators as crocodiles today. It would have been downright perilous for ancient humans to head down to the river for a drink. Imagine if you're going to go down there. They disappeared. They think that less rain fell in the area as a result of climate change. As a result of the decrease in rainfall, forests gradually disappeared and were replaced by grasslands and mixed savanna woodlands. They said it impacted the shift in the environment because it likely favored wooded areas for breeding and hunting. Modern dwarf crocodiles are found exclusively in forested wetlands. Lots of habitat may have prompted a major change in the crocodiles found in the area. So it dried, the water dried up too much, and the crocodiles, night-night, they all went to their night-night termites, night-night giant dwarf crocodiles. That's cool, though. They found the evidence of one. We're moving on to news. Hoping the power doesn't go out. I do love a good summer storm, though.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Best Buy opens its first mini digital store. A 7-foot display will tell you how to shop. Now, here's what's weird. The Best Buy by my house, I have noticed that after COVID, it's half the size. Yeah, there's still people working in there, but it's more like they want you to order it online and come pick it up. So let's say you buy a TV or whatever. They didn't, half of what was the giant Best Buy store, half is now storage, where your stuff's in there and then it pops out. But this is, all kind of new creative things start in the Carolinas. I don't know why. That's where I saw the first no people inside Starbucks thing, and it wasn't COVID. Oh, wow. You just order, and it's there in a thing. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't mind it, though.
A lot of trust.
Mm-hmm. You got to pay for it on the app. But I don't know how. I was going to say I don't steal Mary's coffee. No. Who's got an eye on me? I guess I figure we won't. Right. I don't know about that. According to retail giant, the Monroe, North Carolina store. Oh, whoa. Can you termites hear the thunder? Thunder? No, they can't hear. They're going to open their first small format digital store in North Carolina at less than 15% of the size of its typical retail space. According to the giant, right now the store is 5,000 square feet, and it's going to test a digital shopping experience that encourages customers to do everything from shop, select your product, and get advice digitally while in the store. I wouldn't be able to do that because I can't follow linear instructions like that. No. If I saw a 7-foot-tall board of instructions, I'd be like, fuck it. Nope, I'm out. Nope. I need a person, and always have. I can't follow all that stuff. I'll do it wrong, and then get frustrated, and I don't know. And that's just not because I'm an old termite. I've never have been able to do that. Best Buy stores are normally 35,000 to 40,000 square feet, so they're going to shrink down to 5. I'd say mine is half. Wow. I thought it was a COVID deal. The store will carry large TVs, but will not carry major appliances or other large items. That sucks because they have good appliances. Yeah. Huh. You can buy those online and pick them up at the store. Oh, okay. Wow. Nah, I'm not going to. I want to see the washer or the fridge. Yeah, I don't trust that. According to Best Buy, when you enter the store, you'll see a 7-foot-tall digital display that explains how to shop. Here's how the new store is different from the traditional model. See if you termites would do this. When you're ready to make a purchase, customers can can use their phone to scan the QR code or any product price tag and send the order to be picked up at the order pickup counter. From there, a Best Buy worker will pick it up in the back room and bring it to the register for you to pick up. I've done that.
Yeah.
I did it online though, and then I went and picked it up, and then the guy went back and got it. That was fine.
But you also probably know what you're ordering.
Right, I knew what I was ordering,
Right.
so it didn't matter. Virtual help? Oh no. The store will have employees, but customers will be able to shop live with a virtual expert by phone or video chat. No, no, no. I don't care if there's just one guy. I'll spend 2 hours looking for that man before I get on a video chat. I will find that fucker.
Yeah.
And go, Sam, what's your name? Bob? Matt? Cindy? Whoever it is. Come out. Mama Termite's here. I want to talk to a person. Best Buy is among several major retailers, including Walmart and Target, whose earnings have taken a hit from inflation. Well, first they blamed COVID. Now they're going to blame this. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What do you feel about that? I think it's the future, like it or not.
You think so?
Yep. Yep. Moving on, more news. I don't know how you feel about this, but interesting. Crazy, it's still around. Hitler's gold watch with the initials AH swastika sells for $1.1 million.
Oh my God.
You'll see the picture when Paddles puts it in the schnotes. Yeah, I don't know. The timepiece likely gifted to Hitler on April 20th, 1933 to mark his 44th birthday.
I want to know who bought it.
Well,
Who bought it?
well, who's auctioning it? Is that right?
Who bought it? That's worse.
Alexander Historical Auctions at Chesapeake City, Maryland, which also peddled the German dictator's globe-shaped bar in 2020, has estimated that the value of the gold Andrea Huber timepiece between $2 and $4 million, describing it as a World War II relic of historic proportions. Jewish leaders and others have condemned last week's auction. Yeah, I don't. But then if you don't auction it off, where does it go? I don't know. People are going to hoard that shit.
Yeah.
There's a place in Lake of the Ozarks, and I'm just going to tell you, it's very public, and it's somewhere in a popular street, and it's a place you would call it. I won't say the name of it, but it's where you would buy old stuff. And there's some Nazi shit upstairs. I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah, he's an old dude that works in there, and I was like, "Hey, what do you got going on up there?" Stuff. And I was like, okay. It's weird to see it in person, though. Wow. But Jewish leaders and others condemned last week's auction, were saying the timepiece had little to no historic value. The auction house president, Bill Pangolopoulos, said he had been getting death threats over the sale of the watch. Wow. I would destroy it. That's what I would do. Yep. Just smash it to pieces so there's no, record of him. And that's not erasing history. It's just his personal effects. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it'd be creepy to want that, I think.
Yeah.
The buyer, of course, remains anonymous, is a European Jew, this guy said. Well, how would we know? Right. You're just saying it's a Jewish person, so then nobody feels. Right. That's my guess. The watch, which was commissioned by the Nazi Party and assembled in Munich, features 3 dates. His birthday, the day he became chancellor, and when the Nazi Party won the national election. It's just a rectangle, looks like an old man's watch. Old-timey old man's watch. According to the auction house, a French soldier, Robert Mignot, was the first in the unit to close in on Hitler in 1945 at the Berchtesgaden mountain retreat. He went to the mountain house, and he seized the watch as a spoil of war. Eventually, he resold the watch to his cousin, who then passed it down to his descendants. In an open letter signed by 34 Jewish letters, a week's sale of the timepiece was slammed as abhorrent. The auction, whether wittingly or not, is doing 2 things. One, giving praise to those who realize what the Nazi Party stood for. 2, offering buyers a chance to titillate a guest or a loved one with an item belonging to a genocidal murderer and his supporters. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the auction house said they're preserving history. You guys just want to make money. Yeah. I don't know why people just won't say what they're doing. Right. The live golfers, just say why you're doing it, because you want the money. We all know. Everybody knows. Then they say, the live golfers say, well, we don't want to play as much golf, but now they're going to fly to Singapore and all over Asia to get, I can't, don't even get me started. This is crazy. This would destroy your world. What's your favorite thing for breakfast in the whole world, Paddles?
Egg McMuffin.
McDonald's Egg McMuffin.
Yep.
Well, a passenger traveling from Bali, Indonesia to Australia has found themselves paying a hefty price for a McDonald's breakfast. The unnamed traveler was handed a fine of $1,874 after 2 undeclared egg and beef sausage McMuffins and a ham croissant were found in their luggage upon arriving at Darwin Airport in the country's Northern Territory last week. The incident came about days after Australian authorities brought in a tough new biosecurity rules after foot and mouth disease outbreak in Indonesia had spread to Bali, a popular destination for Australian tourists. Australia's Department of Agriculture and Forestry said a range of undeclared risk products, including fast food items, were detected in the passenger's rucksack by a biosecurity detector dog named Zinta. Well, maybe Zinta smelled the sausage and was like, egg McMuffin, egg McMuffin. It's the most expensive meal this passenger has ever had. The fine is twice of the cost of the airfare to Bali, but I have no sympathy for people who choose to disobey Australia's strict biosecurity measures, and recent detections show you will be caught.
Yeah. That fine would be worth it.
Wow. Well, does the person really know, Or did the person just do it like, hey, throw 2 Egg McMuffins in? But I don't know. I mean, you better eat them fast. They're not good cold.
No,
That's all I'm
not.
saying. That's right. Speaking of Australia, how many of you termites ever heard of the Somerton Man?
No.
As in Somerton, not summer. Somer. It's a mystery. It's an extraordinary twist in Australia's most baffling death. 70 years after he was found dead on a beach with a coded note in his pocket. Yeah, I've known about this guy. I don't know why I know, because I read weird shit. But it's like everybody thought he was a spy or something crazy, but it's kind of been solved.
Wow.
One of Australia's most baffling and enduring mysteries, the unsolved case of an unclaimed body dubbed Somerton Man, who was found with a coded note in his pocket on a beach 74 years ago, may have finally been unraveled after a professor claimed he used DNA analysis to uncover his true identity. This is why it was creepy. The fully clothed body was discovered slumped against a seawall by 2 trainee jockeys near the shore of Somerton Park Beach, Adelaide. On December 1st, 1948, he had an unlit cigarette resting on his chest. The post-mortem extermination ruled that he was poisoned, but he was never identified because no family members came forward to claim him. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, why does this man at this age disappear and nobody gives a shit? He was in a perfectly pressed double-breasted suit and a tie. A coded note and a book of Persian poems among his belongings lent themselves to wild theories that if he was a Cold War spy or he'd been murdered by a scorned ex-lover. Now, more than 70 years later, they think they figured it out. This professor, he's been working along another person. They were trying to get the DNA profile. After building a family tree of around 4,000 people, they had a breakthrough on Saturday, successfully matching the DNA from the hair samples from Webb's distant relatives. By filling out the tree, we managed to find a first cousin 3 times removed. I never know. My aunt used to always say that. That's one of our cousins 2 times removed. And I would always go, oh, really?
Okay.
But I didn't know what that meant. But I also felt like I just wasn't in the mood to hear. So I feel like I just climbed Mount Everest and I was at the top, the guy who figured it out. Webb was born, if this is him, Webb was born the youngest of 6 children, 1905, Melbourne. No death records or photos exist on file. They also found a link between Webb and the name Keen, which was printed on the Summerman's tie. Turns out Carl Webb has a brother-in-law named Thomas Keene who lived just 20 minutes away from him in Victoria. So it's not out of the question that those items of clothing he had with him, T. Keene, were just hand-me-downs from his brother-in-law.
Ooh.
Right, but how did he? They also found the reason he was in Adelaide. We have evidence that he had separated from his wife and she'd moved to South Australia, so possibly he'd come to track her down. And then they exhumed his body and so on. So, I don't think he was really Like, it's not as exotic as everybody wanted to think. Mm-hmm.
Good story.
He had a briefcase with him. Inside it, they found scissors, shoe polish, a tie, an ashtray. Who travels with their own ashtray? A spoon and a toothbrush. Theories about his identity varied, but one of the more popular ones that he could have been a post-war era spy. I don't know. In Adelaide, the theory was strengthened by the discovery of a second coded message on the man's body, written on the last page of the some little book he had. The book was a compilation of Persian poetry translated into English. 5 months after he was found dead, he was buried. I guess nobody showed up for that either.
Wow.
Yeah. Early life, he was in Melbourne the whole time. Then he got married. And then he liked betting on horses. He was just a dude.
Wow.
Yeah, he liked poetry, so that could explain the weird book. Yeah.
And the ashtray.
So I think he killed himself. I mean, that seems to be. It doesn't seem to be.
That's bizarre.
It's it's Australia. They're always like, who is the guy? I mean, maybe I heard it when I was over there. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. So this guy says he solved it. I kind of believe him.
Okay.
Yeah, the DNA thing. You know, do your thing. Moving on. I love this. These U.S. cities, this is my idea. Finally, somebody's going along with what the termites are demanding. These are our demands. There's so many cute little towns in America that I see that no one lives in anymore because everybody had to go where the jobs are. There used to be jobs, but there's a little steel town. Steelville, Missouri, for instance. It's got a cute little downtown with a lot of love. It could be totally fixed, but there's no more steel gigs down there, so people just leave, and then it just gets run down. But I'm saying, why not, especially for the children who are willing to kind of live anywhere and do new stuff. You know, you got to give them an incentive if you can work online. You got to give them an incentive to do it, though. These U.S. cities and towns are paying remote workers up to $20,000 to move there. Are the children, are you listening? Or some of the old termites, too. If you're getting close to retirement and you're still kind of working, though.
Where do you want to move?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. As more and more companies offer fully remote positions, people are packing up and leaving the city to pursue small town life. Mm-hmm. Now, remember, who was it that said you can't live away? Was it Google? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or was it Apple? I don't remember. One of them said, you guys can't all move away. You have to live by here. Yeah, Apple. We did it on here, and I don't even remember. A small number of townships and cities across the nation are looking to incentivize knowledge workers to move, rewarding them with cash, tax breaks. That's what I said, tax breaks. Yeah. It costs you nothing, and even property. Those programs are an appealing option for people who cannot afford real estate in major metro areas. We're seeing lots of early to mid-career people, often folks who are thinking about buying a home or having kids, and have been priced out of local markets. But perks go beyond a town covering closing costs. The perks go beyond a town covering closing costs on a new. They'll cover your closing costs on a new house with quirky offerings that suggest a desire to build a community. In Greensburg, Indiana, parents can take advantage of Grandparents on Demand package, which provides applicants with babysitting hours free of charge.
That's awesome.
Wow. I should tell my brother to move there. He said there's no babysitters left. They're all busy. I know he has to. You got to really get on it if you want one for if you at least where he lives. Not just babysitter. According to the description, make my move. Our friend Tammy at the Decatur County Community and her husband, who drives the local school bus, happily offer babysitting hours and will stand in on Grandparents' Day at school. Other towns offer free concert tickets or lifetime memberships to local deli co-ops. Communities across the U.S. spend $7 billion annually to grow their own economy. So you can people of varying skills. Here's where you want to go, folks. Here's some cities that are offering it. Okay. For any termites that are thinking about getting out. Number 1 and 2, Morgantown and Lewisburg, West Virginia. I've been to Morgantown. It's a college town. It's lovely. I would think that would be too big. I've never been to Lewisburg, though. I would think Morgantown's already got enough going on, but I guess not. These West Virginia cities have an abundance of hiking, scenic views from the nearby mountains, As John Denver once sang, "Tank me home, country road." Okay, well, you don't got to say that. You get 20 grand. You get applicants get a full-time remote job. Who qualifies? Applicants with a full-time remote job at a company not based in West Virginia. So they want new people.
Right.
A cash stipend of 12 grand and undisclosed gifts and incentive valued at 8 grand. It's 12 grand cash.
Wow.
And they cover closing costs if you buy a new home. Number 3, Greater Rochester, New York. I'll be actually going up there to do a show. The only downside is how snowy it can get in the upstate metro area, though that can be a plus for snowshoeing fans. Snowshoeing?
Yeah.
Is there not enough mountains up there? I don't know. Is there not skiing? Why are we going to shoes? I don't understand why we downgraded from...
You know what snowshoeing is, right?
I do know what snowshoeing. Snowshoeing. I know, but I would think it'd be skiing. I don't know. Here's the thing. I have friends that live in Oswego, which is by the water, which is like an hour from Syracuse. And sometimes the text I get from Tommy and Mary, they sound like pioneer people. That's how much snow they get. They're like, well, we've been snowed in going on 4 days now. And I'm like, why don't you just start writing these like an old-timey person? I hope scurvy hasn't taken down the rest of the settlers. I mean, it is like, it can get, if you're not used to it, full-time remote employees who live more than 300 miles from downtown can, you get, if you go to Rochester, you get 10 grand and $9,000 in home buyer's incentive. Okay?
That's cool.
4, Southwest Michigan. I love Michigan. Oh. Less than 200 miles from Chicago, the town of Southwest Michigan is known for its scenic Lake Michigan beaches and large dunes that are visible. Great. You can see Lake Michigan. Estimated value of incentive, 15 grand. You can't work in, you got to be outside of Michigan. You get a $10,000 incentive towards a mortgage for those with a home worth at least $200,000. An extra $5,000 stipend will be offered if an applicant's child is enrolled in a public school. See, this is all great.
Wonderful.
I'm just going to go through the rest of the cities. You don't need to hear everything they're all going to do. Number 5, Noblesville, Indiana.
Okay.
It's a historic downtown covered bridge dating back to the 1870s.
Okay.
You get 15 grand.
Cool.
Yeah, you get relocation things. Number 6, Montpelier, Vermont. Never been.
So pretty.
Is it gorgeous?
Oh, great.
Yeah, but I can't take the cold. I can't.
They'd probably snowshoe there too.
Yeah. Number 7, Newton, Iowa. And I've been everywhere in Iowa, and I don't know where this is.
No idea.
Well, it's now the site of the Iowa Speedway and a home to a thriving arts community. Yep. It was once known as the washing machine capital of the world.
Stop.
Swear to God. Number 8.
Why?
Notice, because they build washing machines there. Come on, Paddles, use your brain. Imperial?
You don't know.
Yeah. Metric. 8. These are all very cold places. Harmony, Minnesota.
Delicious.
That's all I think is my Raynaud's syndrome constantly. I can't feel my hands or my feet. You get $12,000 cash rebates towards buying a new home if you do that one. Number 9, Mattoon, Illinois. I don't know where that is. It's home of the Illinois original Burger King. Well, who doesn't want to live there? Yeah. Number 10, Topeka, Kansas. Just drove through Topeka on my way to my Sean Cassidy gig.
Right.
Past where the Wizard of Oz town. Topeka, I would think, would be too big for this. I mean, it has oh my God. How did I not know this? The city has a few notable attractions, including the Evil Knievel Museum. Why didn't I know that?
Cool.
And the Brown versus Board of Education National Historic Park. Well, I don't know. So, any of those towns sound cool? I'm sure there's a lot more. That's just the article I read. Termites, start packing. Get out there. I'd go to the one in Michigan after everything I just read.
Yeah.
Because you can see Lake Michigan. Michigan people are very nice. Not that they're nice, but like Rochester, I just can't do that kind of cold. For the youngsters who like the snow, get yourself a snowmobile, have a blast. Go for it. But for those of us old people that don't like freezing anymore, that's not going to happen on my watch. No, I don't like freezing.
Nope.
Oh, I'm going to save this one for next week.
Why?
Because it's a long one. But this is alarming. The Rio Grande, or the Rio Grande, if you're from the Midwest, drives up in Albuquerque for the first time in 40 years.
Wow.
What do? Drink more seltzers.
Exactly.
I don't know what we're supposed to do about it, but I mean, these things are like, holy shit, alarming. I don't do it every week, but Lake Mead is now at dead pool status, meaning it can't provide water. There's another one, Lake Powell, dead pool status. If this happened every 5 years and you saw it in a pattern, you'd go, well, don't be alarmed. But this is where they're saying, first time in 700 years this shit's happened. I don't know why there's a hurricane in Omaha. It makes no sense. I don't even know where that wave came from. Where did it start? Yeah. There's also a warning to residents to prepare for the sight of a bed of mud and sand where once the nation's longest rivers should flow. While the southern stretches of the river regularly dry out, this reach has not experienced a drought like this since 1983. It's quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's just, aside from rain, the other options of water have been sapped. New Mexico is in debt to Texas as part of their water sharing agreement. Here's what I don't understand. No, there's probably a lot of science involved in this.
Okay.
Some places, for instance, Kentucky right now, have way too much water. Other places in dire need of water. Why do we not have a pipe system underneath the country that's just for water? And so, like Kentucky, they fill up their water pool with all this rainwater and all the water. And then Albuquerque says, or whoever says we need water, we turn it on, a faucet, and the water goes through the pipe to them. And when they say, hey, we're good, we got enough, turn the faucet off.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Well, it's another reason I'm not running for office, because I can't really explain that anymore.
No. It's called a dam.
No, and then they'd make fun of me like I was Dan Quayle. I don't know. She said something about a faucet. Yeah, we're supposed to turn water on in certain places and turn it off.
It's called a dam.
No, but I need pipes underneath the ground that's transported to this. We don't have it where it goes where it's needed.
Right, I know.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Yeah, God, I don't want this press conference to get out of hand paddles. You keep challenging me. I'm gonna get.
Faucet.
Speaking of fixing the world, or how are we gonna live like this? I don't want to live like this. This is these people's idea. 105-mile long city that will snake through the Saudi desert. Is that a good idea? A tall and narrow stripe of a city, more than 155 miles long, teeming with 9 million residents and running entirely on renewable energy. That's the vision of the Saudi Arabia's leaders have for it's called, quote, the line.
Okay.
Part of a giga project that will reshape the kingdom's northwest. Newly revealed designs concepts show a futuristic walled city. Its open interiors enclosed on both sides by a mirrored facade, stretching from the Red Sea eastward across the desert into a mountain range. This is what the stats on it. It's going to be 200 meters wide, which is roughly 220 yards. So 2 football fields wide. That's it.
Right.
This is where you live. You're in it to win it. It will rise 500 meters, which is basically 500 yards, above sea level, higher than the Empire State Building. Nope. What does my dad say? Don't ever stay in a hotel a floor higher than the fireman's ladders. I don't know anymore. I don't know how high our ladder can go. I do think about it when I check into hotels. Or in New York, some of those buildings. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, residents will be able to run errands with a 5-minute walk. There will be no cars or roads. High-speed rail will carry people from end to end in 20 minutes. 13 stories? Well,
Fireman's ladder.
I didn't do that in Vegas. It's going to cost hundreds of billions of dollars to build. Construction has already begun, and the Saudi project calls for 1.5 million people to live in the line by 2030. The unconventional megacity is part of the government's ambitious NEOM development project, which released conceptual videos showing the city's high walls enclosing trees, gardens, and other plant life, nestling communities among work and recreational structures. The designs revealed today for the city's vertically layered community will challenge the traditional flat horizontal cities and create a model for the nature preservation and enhanced human livability. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. I think we know MBS, and I think we know some other things he's done. He unveiled the new designs. Bonesaw murder anybody? Live golf? The designers say the structure will mean an ideal climate year-round thanks to its mix of shade, sunlight, and ventilation. But not everyone is keen on the concept living between gigantic walls in the Saudi desert. Yeah, this lady's not. I've never seen something more dystopian, one commenter wrote in a reply to a video that was posted online. The solution is a bit like wanting to live on Mars because things on Earth are very messy. Yeah, I agree. Why don't we fix what's here instead of just going, well, we'll just leave that trash there and we'll build this. Like, we'll fuck it. Yeah, we'll make a whole different planet on our planet. The supporters say a smaller footprint than conventional cities. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. But I don't know. Maybe they'll pay people to live in it and then act like it's a hit.
Maybe.
I don't think MBS wants to be embarrassed. No. Let's say nobody signs up for his future city.
I think they're liars.
I'm gonna do.
That cake smells good. Well, cake and claws.
I'm gonna do this one. No, you know what I'm gonna do? As the last one, and that way, if some of you termites don't like sports talk, you can clock out now. But it's not really about sports. What I'm telling you, it's just the inequality. People are such assholes about sharing money, like CEOs compared to the average worker person, whatever, or even tipping. Like I tipped some guy in Vegas. The bill was like $50, so I gave him 25, which is 50%, and I'm aware of that. But I just knew I can give him $25. And he came back and went, I'm going to have a great day. What a great start. Like, he was all excited. Selfishly, that feels good to be able to do. I don't know why people never find joy in that part. Right. It's not saying I'm a great human being or morally perfect at all. It's just saying if you can, it's a lot of fun. Right. You should try it. Well, this is weird because I've gone to a lot of minor league baseball games, and they're fun as shit. And if you have kids, it's $7-8 to get in. It's so fun. They have all kinds of stuff for, like the Nashville Sounds. There's so much to do for kids. Savannah Bananas are the most popular thing going right now. Montgomery Biscuits. I can name a million of them. Yeah, the Durham Bowls. The Buffalo one.
The Buffalo Bison.
The Buffalo Bisons. They're just silly. It's not as serious as Major League. I mean, I love real baseball too, but I mean, Major League, I shouldn't call it real. But just so you guys know, what are the minor league levels? Because a lot of people don't know this. The lowest, fourth rung, is Class A or Low A. Then the next level is Class A or High A. Then the next level is Double A. Then the next level is Triple A. Right. Then after that is MLB. That's when you made it. Triple A is the highest MLB level where players are most likely to be called up by a parent major league team. So, what do these guys make? Like when you go see the Sounds game or you go see the Bananas game. And I know they're all trying to be pros. And they're, well, right, the Memphis Redbirds. Some of them are already, I mean, but they're trying to get pulled up. Some have got sent back down because they're injured. But it's the people below that. A few minor league players make a lot of money, millions, but not very many. Some make a modest but decent income, $20,000 to $67,000. Wow. That's not. No. You can't live on that. Most barely make enough to live. They live with host families, and have to. They live with host families, yeah.
AAA.
Not AAA. They're saying the minor league players underneath that. I think AA, Single A. For the first 7 seasons, players are paid slotted money that changes by level and years of play. It starts at around $850 a month. I mean, even a road comic that's starting out, you can make more than that. Right. A month? Yeah. This is less than $5,000 a year and increases minimally with time of promotion. And that's only during the 5-month baseball season. So you have to have a real job the other part of the time. This is why many other many players at the lower levels live with host families. Once you're in AAA, you're making $2,000 to $2,500 a month. That's still $500 a week. Right. I mean, you can't do this for a living. No. This is the exception is to the players who are on the 40-man roster. 5-year roster guys make a minimum of $32,000 a year. What second and third guys, $67,000 a year. I mean, so this is what they're living off of. And who owns the minor league team? I don't need to get into all that. But this is what the guy, MLB commissioner Rob Manfred, insistent minor league players do earn a living wage at $15,000 a year or less, as he pockets, ready for his salary, $17.5 million.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, and they're so entertaining. And I can tell you that I think the Savannah Bananas make money, and I think that the Nashville Sounds make good money, and the concessions and all that. Somebody's getting all that money. I don't know how it's all spread around, but Major League Baseball, if this is your farm deal, come on, man. Yeah. That's just terrible. They have to live with other people. I mean, I don't know.
Well, then how do you have a wife?
You can't have a wife. Well, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to find a very nice lady to agree to that.
Totally.
I don't think you can.
No.
They're trying to get... Now, I'm going to do an update on this because I think I saw, but I was too busy gambling. I think they've come to an idea for a raise for all these people. Like, it's just disgusting because you're just training them to be a Cardinal or not, or a Yankee or not. Right. And if they don't make it, they don't make it. But you should at least pay them enough to eat and get a hotel room or an apartment. If you're going to be a Savannah Banana and say you don't live in Savannah.
You like saying that, don't you?
I love saying Savannah Banana. Yeah, and you should go to their Instagram account because they dance. They're so funny. Most minor league players have second jobs because the annual salaries are insufficient to make. And I'm not, okay, you only play 5 months, but while you're playing that 5 months, you should get paid properly. Yeah. At least enough to get an apartment to share. Yep. 2 of you in an apartment, split the rent. That's fine. Comics, we all had to live with other comics on the road for 10 years so you can finally demand your own room. But, I mean, that's also half the fun I had on the road was living in those comedy condos and getting to know people. Believe me, after you live with a comic for 5-6 days on the road, you'll know if you ever want to see them again or not. You don't ever need to change cell phone's number. Bye. See ya. And then the other ones, you're like, oh, that person be a fun friend. I mean, he's such an asshole. You're making $17.5 million. I'm going to go find out if somebody jumped his shit about this. Termites. We're going to get those guys paid better. Not millions or nothing, just enough to...
You going to start a union?
I'm going to try to unionize.
In your spare time.
All right, termites. Well, this has been a lovely, lovely time together. 100 episodes. Very exciting. And in another business note, there's been a lot of shuffling around of... albums, comedians, things on different platforms, and some of my things are not where they used to be, and some are, and it's kind of a bit of a shit show. But don't you worry, Mama Termites. God, I'm on it, and everything's going to be put back. I'm pretty sure, and I think it's going to be put back properly. And then whenever you go look for my stuff. I can't speak for every platform, but there's been some reorganizing, shall I say? Reorganization. I can't really talk about it that much, but just to let you know, I'm fixing it. And I'm going to get it done with some fun people, and then I don't know what, but I don't know. I can't really say anything more than that, but don't worry. Within probably a couple weeks. Yeah. That's my outside. Because it got really weird. And a lot of us didn't have anything to do with any of it. It just happened. And then you got to figure out. Moving on. How do you fix it? All right, termites.
Canadian t-shirts are on their way.
Oh, Canadian t-shirts are on the way. I'm bringing them up to Niagara Falls. And
they're very cool.
If I don't sell them, I'll just hand them out at the airport. Because I'm not dragging that back home.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, Buffalo people like Canada. Hey, it's a free shirt. Who cares? It's a free shirt, for God's sakes. Oh, no, Dolly Parton. Oh, that means it's over. Night, Dolly.
You pushed Dolly over.
No, my elbow hit her. I elbowed her. I checked her.
Do you have any good wishes for the next 100 episodes?
For the next 100 episodes? I think we're just rolling right along. The special's going to be great. The road, the fall, the show's already selling out. I really have no problems. Nothing to complain about. Don't forget to get some Maulls. And that's it, termites. I got to pack it up. Next show, September 10th, Canada. Already sold out. And they're randomly testing people in airports for COVID. I hope I don't get it. But they do say if you test positive, it takes 4 days to get the results. You're free to frolic those 4 days. And then they quarantine you. But that's fine. I could still do the show and then go quarantine wherever they tell me. I hope it's somewhere lovely. Maybe Quebec City. I've never been and I've always wanted to go. I love Montreal too. Can you quarantine me in Old Town, Montreal, the old city? It's beautiful. Am I allowed to order in cheese? Can I order some?
I need some poutine.
Yeah, can I order French fries with gravy and cheese curds on top? Thank you. All right, termites, that's it. 100 episodes. Thank you. Night, termites.